Three men walk into a standoff. Only one of them was prepared. And that is the whole difference.
Pour a cup of clarity, sip a spark of insight. Coffee with Karma, your morning feels just right.
The standoff in the spaghetti western, the good, the bad, and the ugly, didn't go to the best shot. It went to the one who thought ahead. That's true in a western. It's also true in business. Today, in this video, I am sharing how entrepreneurs and authors are using AI right now and revealing the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hi, my name is Carma Spence, and I am in the wrong book prevention business. I work with established experts to write the right book and market it the right way to get them to the goal they want for that book by reverse engineering the book that is best positioned to achieve that goal. It's all done with methodology and diagnostics so that you are crafting your own authority. Before we move on, please like this video, comment below, share it with others, especially your colleagues who could benefit, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that YouTube knows that videos like these are for people like you who want to grow their business with books. 1. The ugly. The ugly hustles reactively with half the picture, chasing the latest prompts, the latest model, the latest cool AI thing, never actually building anything that holds. And believe me, in the early days, I was with you on that one. You're like, I am kind of a sucker for a good prompt. In fact, I have a project set up in ChatGPT that's called prompt experimentation. I'm like, "Oh, that looks like an interesting prompt. I'll go into that project and I'll like, play with it." In fact, I've got a collection of prompts I want to do that, but there's, so many prompts, so little time. And honestly, those don't always give you anything useful. They're fun. I mean, especially the image prompts. Love me some good image prompts. I mean, I've got pictures of me riding dinosaurs, and of course, I've been using my own prompts to create the images for these videos so that I look like someone from the film, as if I had actually been in the film, because obviously I wasn't. They were all came out the year I was born. I was a little too young then. So, if this is where you are, you're in sort of like the early curiosity stage of AI, and this is a good way to get your feet wet, but you don't wanna stay ugly, okay? Don't keep chasing the next prompt, the next model, the next cool AI gadget. You wanna be like the good, and I will be getting to the good, but I wanted to start with the ugly because honestly, that's how the film starts. The film is called in English The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, but you actually get it in a different order. You get the ugly first with Tuco, and then you get the bad with Leela Van Cleef's character, and then like it felt like halfway through the movie, you finally get the good, Clint Eastwood, Blondie. So if you are chasing prompts and chasing, you are in the ugly phase. You don't want to stay in the ugly phase too long. So let's now go into phase two, the bad. The bad means they let AI do everything. They aren't controlling of the AI. They go, okay, this can be done by AI, wham. They don't review, they don't do editing, they don't do oversight. There's no human fingerprints left anywhere on the content because it's all AI. And that's where slop comes from. And we all recognize slop because honestly, AI use isn't the problem. The bad AI use is. That's when you don't use your brain and you let AI take control. So, and the thing is, readers can tell. And it's not just because there's an M dash in the word delve and everything is done quietly. God, that one drives me crazy. I mean, and actually, now I do use actually, and it's okay to use word actually, but not every other sentence. Those are my pet peeves. I'm sticking to. But I use AI every day. And I use it to help me create my content. But like I said in my last 2 videos, it starts with me and my brain. I decide what's gonna happen. Then I interact with AI like a brainstorming buddy. It's not much different than when I might go to my husband and bat ideas off. It's just easier and faster, and I can do it in the middle of the night if I want to and not have to wake him up. So, AI works there, and I'll be talking about this next week too, is and then after I've got my content together, AI massages it, zhuzhes it a little bit, will translate it, convert it to different platforms, but I still edit every word. So don't be the bad. Don't let AI run amok. And finally, we get to the good. The good prepares the move in advance. He thinks through the workflow. She builds the brief. She gives AI real context before asking it to perform. Do you know why Blondie won that show off at the end? He was prepared. He removed the bullets from Tuco's gun and shot Van Cleve first. So Van Cleve's gone. Tuco's like freaking out because pretty much that's the way he is. He freaked out through the entire movie. And then Blondie just goes on his merry way. And he was fair. That's why he was good. He left Tuco some of the money and he took some of the money himself. Fair. Yeah, he took care of Tuco, so Tuco couldn't take care of him, but he knew Tuco. So he gets to head off into the sunset. So when you are interacting with AI well, that means you think it through, you give the AI a prompt that says, here are my thoughts, here's the context, here's why, here's the information I want to turn into a reel, a video, an outline, a whatever. It does that. You zhuzh it again. And only after you have said go do you schedule it. And you are transparent about how you use AI. I mean, this whole witch hunt where we're like, put AI in something that means it bad. No, it doesn't mean it's bad. It depends on how the AI was used. AI is like a hammer, okay? A hammer, I even have a prop. A hammer is a tool, okay? You can bonk someone on the head, and that's a bad way to use it. Or you can bonk a nail, and now you got a painting on your wall. Same thing with AI. You can use it to create slop by not really putting any brain power into it at all, or you can use it for good and use it to help you iterate faster, brainstorm faster, come up with new ways of saying the same thing faster, better. The bionic author. So there you go. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly of AI use. So now I have one tiny action. Well, maybe it's not so tiny. We'll see. I have a tiny action for you. Create a brief before you ask AI to do anything. What is the context? What does a good outcome look like? What rules govern the process? This not only helps you think through what it is that you want, but it also builds a better set of instructions for the AI to follow, resulting in better outcomes. In fact, I'm moving my workflow into almost completely brief based, where I create the brief, I give it to the AI does the thing, I edit and move on. I'm going to be really experimenting with a new way of using this brief next week. I will definitely report back if it works well because my current workflow has been driving me bananas. Takes too long, and it's supposed to be faster, but I'm too much in the mix because I'm not letting AI do what it does well, and I'm not giving me space to do what I do well. So this is an experiment. And AI keeps changing what it can do. So you need to constantly be in relationship. Like I said in the last video, that's what I talked about with Born Free, with War of the Gargantuas, and now with Good, the Bad, and Ugly. You need to be in relationship with your AI enough so that it's the human in the driver's seat. Okay? So in my next video, Next week, I will be talking about platform risk and the diversification of your content. And the next video will be 5 ways to protect your business from platform risk. Because man, oh man, the platforms are going crazy. It is the Wild West out there. Until then, this is Carma Spence saying ciao for now.
Bloopers!
Hey, I just realized I'm not really centered. There we go. Howdy. Oh, today I have been waiting for because we're going to have fun with one of my when I was a kid, I went through a phase where I was totally into westerns. I watched all the spaghetti westerns, I watched all the John Wayne westerns. I was a big fan of The Lone Ranger. I had like a mustard colored t-shirt that I always wore, this little cowboy suit I had a little red suede vest. I think I have it in storage somewhere. And a red cowboy hat with like pretend plastic snake skin, the whole shebang. In fact, I wore this all the time. One time I remember I was wearing it when we went to an amusement park and I had to ride in the ride with my sister because she was disabled and couldn't go by herself. And even though I had long, almost white blonde hair, this guy kept calling me son. Really bothered me. I'm not a boy, I'm a girl. Anyway, so I have a long love affair with Westerns. So the one I'm gonna be using today is one of the good ones, with, Lee Van Cleef and Clint Eastwood, and yeah, I'm talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's get started, shall we? I've torn through enough time to allow people show up.